Often just does get through lane quite nicely. Effort going to lock away the Rakan as the final pickup here. And I look at these two drafts, I look at these two teams, and at the very beginning, I would have thought, absolutely, Fearx come in with an edge. And we've seen just how devastating having rocks on the floor can be for this gentleman. Let's jump onto the Rift for game number 1. It is super Monster Hunter-esque.
Yeah, it definitely has some MH vibes. The Taliyah pick, because the rocks on the ground, is also going to struggle into Nautilus in team fights.
All right, there's a bit of an engage here as Envy just jumps over the wall. Execute is going to be lit on fire and otherwise is just not going to care about what's going on here, as we can see.
Yeah, not too concerned.
Important, as Henner is going to find a little bit of a snare onto the new jungler who dives on forward. Effort looks for the grand entrance and gets a flash for it. Very nicely done here by Bro, and some proactive play. You'll love to see it. Yeah. As they trade pretty evenly at this point in time. Swifty's there for clear, just to make sure that Huni is as annoyed as possible. He is on the space today.
Yeah, you know you have full control. Doive does not have control meanwhile.
No, he does not. Sonic Wave going to miss, and it looks like Willa wants to even out the bub count between these two squads. 3 apiece. Not going to have Void Mites. A little bit of a shame, but that is all right. As one of them is going to reset. A little bit of extra damage is going to be missing from the Bubs. Execute can just kind of face check all sorts of things if they do not have vision, and that is very important because they do not have vision. That is absolutely true. He's going to get engaged on as there's the Dawning Shadow, has to flash to get himself out. That's a big ulti from Willa, but it's the Zeri that locks down the first kill in the fight, and then Willa is just going to execute them. Flash out from Effort, that gets him to safety, and Envy did get that 1 kill, but they trade down, and it looks like the Dragon will belong to the Xin Zhao, as Execute is moving in, so never mind. We're looking for another 5v5, slow down onto Effort, as in goes Willa. They look for the Rakan and throw him backwards, but he's able to battle dance his way through, not able to get the rocks down in time, I don't think. Was Closer as Morgan trying to tank this one up, but he's taking a lot of damage here for free. And there is the hook that's going to connect. Reaver's Wall going to separate Envy as he's fighting clear on the top side of this fight. Mega Gnar comes in and he flashes out of the wallop, but still Closer is going to go down and Execute, and the rest of Fearx are going to run away.
Yeah, that was not the greatest setup there for Closer. He ends up getting a big shovel. There's no follow-up damage. It's still early game here for this Senna. And now health bars are low and they still want to contest.
There's only 3 of them. Clear does have teleport to try and get back into this fight, but this Herald is going down exceptionally low. That is going to be the secure for Doive. And this game is pretty slow.
It is slow, and it is also like a lot of almost action.
Yeah, that's a nice little flick back onto Effort. Does take 50% of his health bar, and that's a nice shockwave in response as well as Karis. Now just going to get flashed on. Look at that. No hesitation here from Execute, as Dawning Shadow not going to do nearly enough damage to lock down that kill. As Doive, let's see who's going to start piloting it. Is it going to be Envy? Is he just going to dive in? That's a nice little flick onto Morgan as he's the one driving. All right, there we go. Where are we going? They're just going to kill it and he's just going to get out. As not going to be CC'd up from the hook, and starting a fight is probably not going to be their favorite thing.
Clear is pushing inner as well, and he has teleport.
Well, Hook is going to connect here from Execute as they chain the CC onto Karis. He gets a big old shield though, and now Effort diving into that backline, but not a massive amount of value as, oh no, Envy just gets hopped on here as immediately he's over the wall once again. Not much of an R-bar, but Clear doesn't need it. He's an AD carry as well, I guess. And that is going to be a beautiful connection, and the wind becomes lightning from Willa. He takes down Envy, and that is going to be the end of this fight for Bro. Fearx, they just demolished them.
Orianna, because they kept putting the ball in really nice spots. Like, okay, there's a choke point here, they can't approach. No, I put it in another choke point, but he never pressed R on it.
Oh,
he did here.
Goes entirely wide, and Clear just going to celebrate with a little bit of hopscotch.
So watch this moment again with Clear.
Just going to find the Orianna.
Yeah. And by the way, like, no Mega Gnar until the end. Not even required here.
Their minion waves for a bit of aggression on the Baron. And there's Doive getting caught out of position. It's about as elementary as that, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? As Doive goes down, that's the jungler. That is going to mean Baron. Dawning Shadow also means Effort is going to go down as well. And Karis just walks this one off.
I mean, he's just struggling. He's got good wave clear, but meanwhile on the top side.
Yeah, there's a massive engage from Execute. Finds 3 with the knock-up. Effort cannot do anything about this, and Henner is just raining down these auto attacks. Another inhibitor will go down, and I think this is just going to be the game. And I think a lot of people are going to say that this one was boring, but man, was it clean.
It was clean.
End. Like, the amount of, like, ticking of boxes that FearX did, they did exactly what you're supposed to do in a late game. It was beautifully done.
It really was, and we didn't get to say that about FearX all too much this season, but team fights, definitely not the cleanest, but the macro, that was good in this game, and a lot of it was clear, setting up these waves. Willer?
Right, that's a nice little kickback. It's going to mean not a whole lot as Doive does go down, but he does demonstrate that he can do that if he needs to. There's a flash forward from Clear. He finds Envy, pushes him into his own Nexus as he's on the fountain now, trying to keep himself alive. The flick is good onto Morgan. A teleport in the middle of the battle for Execute. That sort of tells the tale.